It was last winter when I moved to the town of Bramblewood, an isolated settlement nestled deep in the countryside. I had only visited once for a job interview, and despite its eerie remoteness, the career opportunity was too good to pass up. After securing the position, I packed up everything I owned, most of which fit into the back of my truck, and made the long, lonely drive. Bramblewood was like a time capsule, untouched by modernity. On that December evening, its streets were deserted, the dim streetlights flickering like dying embers. My new home sat on a quiet street called Black Hollow Lane, a small, unassuming house with peeling paint and sagging shutters. It wasn't much, but it would suffice for the year I planned to stay. The house was just as I expected, old, creaky, and carrying the faint, musty scent of neglect. It had a simple layout, a living room and kitchen at the front, a narrow hallway leading to two bedrooms at the back. I unloaded my air mattress, set it up in the larger bedroom, and collapsed onto it after the exhausting drive. As I drifted off to sleep, I felt a strange sense of unease, though I brushed it off as the jitters of being in a new place. I woke in the dead of night to a sound, a faint, deliberate creak, like a weight shifting on the wooden floorboards. My eyes snapped open, but the room was pitch black, as if the darkness itself were pressing down on me. I sat up, straining to hear over the pounding of my own heart. There it was again, a creak from the hallway, closer this time. My mind raced. Could it be an animal, a raccoon that had snuck in? Forcing myself to move, I got up and crept toward the door. The air felt heavy, the kind of stillness that makes you second-guess your every move. I peeked into the hallway, the faint moonlight from the kitchen window offering just enough illumination to see nothing. The house was empty. I exhaled, relieved but still unnerved, and went back to bed. Yet, as I lay there, I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. The next few nights were quiet, though I couldn't rid myself of the growing unease. Then, one evening, as I returned from work, I found a note taped to my front door. "Welcome to Black Hollow Lane," it read, written in shaky, uneven handwriting. No name, no signature, just those 5 words. I glanced around, but the street was empty. Shrugging it off as a harmless, albeit creepy gesture from a neighbor, I went inside. That night, as I settled into bed, I heard it again. A creak, then another, each one growing louder. This time it wasn't just the floorboards, it was accompanied by the faint, unmistakable sound of breathing. I froze, every muscle in my body screaming to flee, but I couldn't move. My eyes adjusted to the darkness, and that's when I saw it, a figure standing in the corner of the room. It was barely visible, a silhouette blending into the shadows, but it was there, watching. Before I could react, the bedroom door swung open, and the figure bolted down the hallway. I scrambled after it, flipping on the lights, but by the time I reached the living room, the front door was wide open, swinging on its hinges. Outside, the street was empty, the night silent once more. The police came, combed through the house, and found no signs of forced entry. They suggested it might have been a drifter or someone squatting in the house before I moved in. Their reassurances did little to ease my mind. A few days later, a knock at the door startled me. Standing on the porch was an older man, perhaps in his 50s, with long gray hair and hollow eyes. His expression was vacant, almost mechanical, as he greeted me. "Welcome to the neighborhood," he said in a flat, monotone voice. I mumbled a polite response, unnerved by his presence. He lingered, as if waiting for something, but after a few awkward moments he left without another word. The next evening he returned, still wearing the same tattered clothes, his demeanor unchanged. This time he seemed more insistent, his eyes darting toward the house as he spoke. He asked vague questions about my plans and whether I had met anyone else in the neighborhood. Something about him felt wrong. When I finally closed the door, I locked it and double-checked every window. That night, I didn't sleep. The following week passed uneventfully until one fateful night. I came home late, exhausted, and found the front door slightly ajar. My stomach dropped. I stepped inside, calling out, but the house was silent. I noticed the faint smell of something burning, charcoal or wood. My phone vibrated in my pocket, a text from an unknown number. It read, "He's inside." I dropped my phone, panic gripping me. Suddenly, a loud crash came from the bedroom. I grabbed a kitchen knife and crept down the hallway. The door was closed, but I could see the faint glow of light seeping through the cracks. With a deep breath, I flung the door open. The room was empty, but the window was wide open, the curtain billowing in the cold wind. On the wall, scrawled in ash, were the words, "I'm watching."